What's up, Jay Carey? Happy Sunday. What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Everyone. This has nothing to do with reef tanks, but I watched the movie Bohemian Rhapsody the other night, and I just started it again because if you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie. So, kind of got me in the mood to do a quick live stream. Guess I underestimated the power of Freddie Mercury. What's up, John? What is going on? I did some tank maintenance today. Water change, clean the glass, clean the grates for the overflow. Made some new calc for the calc washer situation. Oh, took the screen top off. What's up, Dale? Took the screen top off, took it outside and sprayed it off. Got the salt creep and everything off of it. So, got a little bit done. I see some spots on the glass that I missed, but that's all right. I'm only cleaning the glass like once a week or once every 2 weeks. What's up, Kevin? And I guess there's some confusion with the videos that I'm putting out, and going back to a video I put out a couple weeks ago about me selling the tank, and everything's for sale. This is all for sale. Now, if nobody buys it, nobody buys it, but if I still have it, I'm still gonna create content on it and document what I've been doing with this tank. If you've watched any of the last videos, you know that I got rid of the Apex. I don't run a skimmer. I now have a smart Wi-Fi, surge protector, a Jabo return pump, PP15 Jabo pump, which is way too big for this tank, but I messed up. I meant to buy the 8 and I got the 15 instead, so it's running on the slowest setting. So, you know, the tank is running, with the exception of the Radions, at a bare minimum, and the Radions are running off the Reeflink. So what I'm trying to do is trying to figure out, if somebody's interested in the tank, what's my next move, because I do plan to keep a tank. I don't know how big that tank's gonna be. I'm for sure gonna keep my corals, and I'm gonna try to keep some of my fish, but you know, we do put a price on things, so don't let this, don't get this twisted. The fish are my pets and I do take care of them, but this wrasse that's right here, I paid a pretty penny for him, and I want to give him the best home possible, and I don't want to let him go. So he's not been for sale. He's not going to be for sale, and I'm going to try to do my best to get a tank that will house, at a minimum, that one wrasse there. So, you know, maybe I keep this tank, maybe I don't. I really don't know. It's all up in the air, and we'll just have to see what happens. In my area, it's hard to get rid of stuff. Everything that I've sold off of this tank, I've shipped. And I don't mind shipping stuff unless it's going to the West Coast, because anything I ship to the West Coast, I get, yeah, it costs me like double to ship to the West Coast versus the East Coast. So unfortunately, the only thing I have left is the Nios 120 skimmer. I've had a couple people, I think, interested in it, but they're on the West Coast, and they were wanting me to drop the price a little bit. And it's cool, I get it, it's a used piece of equipment, but what it's gonna cost me to ship it to you, which is gonna be like $40 or $50 to anybody on the West Coast, I just rather hang on to it. So it's nothing against an individual, it's just the location. So, but the tank's doing great. I tested the water last weekend, but been doing regular water changes and staying up on that. And it's, you know, quite honestly, it's been a lot more fun this way. It's less for me to worry about, less for me to think about. Now there's two things that I do miss. I miss the auto feeder from the Apex that I had, and I miss the notifications that I had in my ATO container, because I don't get inside the cabinet, not nearly as often as I did. I feed the fish every day. whether it's a frozen food or a pellet. I'm manually feeding the fish every day, and that's that. You know, the glass gets dirty, and I clean it whenever it gets dirty, or every week or so. But it's doing good, and it's nothing against this tank. I really like this tank, but kind of want something new. And again, I may keep this tank. It just depends. If nobody's interested in it, then I'll just keep it. And I'm in agreement with a lot of folks. A lot of folks said, hey, you know, and it's cool how they approach it. They say, hey, no disrespect, but I really don't like the rockscape that you have going on. And I'm not particularly fond of this side here. But the truth of the matter is I don't want to spend any money on rocks, because my thought process is number one, I have some sip racks in the tank. So that's an instant cycle on a new tank. And at a minimum, this whole structure will go into a new tank. So I'm just not willing to go and spend money on rock on a tank that I may not have now, you know, this winter. Whenever things either pick up or slow down, we'll kind of see where we stand with that. But and I'll be honest, I'm itching to buy corals, but I'm on a no tank spending spree. I haven't bought anything for this thing in a couple months now, and I don't plan to buy anything for a while. I'm good on food, I'm good on salt, I'm good on everything. So, you know, what we see here is exactly what it's gonna be. So the content may not be as regular as it has been, just because there's really not much to talk on, saying, hey, I did a water change today, cool, keep it moving. I do post pictures and videos on Instagram. So if you're not on Instagram, you know, here's the plug for Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Pelfrey's Reef. There is a guy locally, well, semi-locally. I'd say he's probably like an hour from me. He's got one of the Nuvo 20 tanks, and I think he wants like $120 or something. But I'm kind of wanting something a little bit bigger. So, you know, I really looked at the, what's up, Pat Murphy? I really looked at the Cobalt Seaview 45, just because it's a cube tank. But I haven't made any moves in that direction just yet. So, and I'll go ahead and say, you know, anything, and I've had a couple people message me or leave a comment asking about me selling the lights or whatever. And everything that's on the tank at this point has got to be there for the tank to run. I can't sell the lights because obviously the corals need light. So everything that's on this tank is not for sale. The only thing I have at the moment that is for sale is the Nios 120. And I thought about getting into the refugium today and thinning out some of the chaeto morpha, but I decided I was just gonna let it grow and completely pack that chamber. But it's doing great. That $30 refugium light that I added to the tank has worked well. There's no doubt about that. The ball that I got from the beginning has at least grown 2.5 times. How full is it? I'll show you, Murphy. Now the light in here is the batteries running pretty low. So, of course, you know, I have great coralline algae growth growing, but it's almost the whole chamber, you know, and it's to the bottom, almost to the bottom anyway. So I'm flipping it around, you know, once a week or a couple times a week, pretty often anyway. So as far as, you know, nutrient export, I don't know, but you know, there's coralline algae growth growing on the back there, on the side over here. And one of my concerns about this whole thing was the bleed over into the ATO. What's up, KC Nano? But so far, everything's been good there. And what I thought about doing was getting a small piece of acrylic or ABS plastic and putting a divider in here, but I'm probably just gonna leave it alone. So, but it's doing good. I got a whole video that I've already recorded going over all of that. So I am trying to continue documenting the journey, and You know, I feel like at this point, excuse me for a second here, I feel like at this point, reef tanks were just meant to be in my life. So I'm gonna try to keep it that way. Whether it's a 40-gallon tank, this is probably, I think this is like a 54-gallon display. We'll take the rocks out. We'll just say it's a 45-gallon display. You know, it's probably around 60 gallons, give or take. So, you know, and I've thought about getting a 40 breeder, drilling it, and using everything that I have here, just getting rid of the Red Sea Reefer, just to put a little bit more money back in my pocket. But it's fun. You know, I got a baby. She's just turned 10 months old, and she's coming over to the tank and looking at it. She's kind of curious about it, whereas my other two kids have been around them since since the day they were born. So they pay a little bit of attention to it, but not so much. Now I have to give my oldest credit. She'll be 4 in 2 weeks, and she does. She wants to help. You know, whenever I get to doing something on the tank, she says, "Daddy, can I help?" Absolutely. You know, it's a not only is she helping me, but I'm spending time with her, and she probably doesn't really care about the tank. She just wants to be a part of what I've got going on. So it's pretty cool, pretty cool. But yeah, everything's doing well. The fish, I've had no issues with the fish. Pretty much all the fish I have in here, with the exception of the zebra dartfish, are fish that I want. The Coral Beauty has been with me the longest, and it come from a local store. The yellow tang come from a local store. The yellow wrasse come from a local store. This wrasse up here came from Pieces of the Ocean, and ironically enough, I've never really had, I've never had good luck with fish from Live Aquaria, but I bought a trio of zebra dartfish, and they're quick, and their home was up under here. One of them jumped out at some point somehow. I do have a top on the tank. The other one just disappeared, and I have one left. You know, ironically enough, it was kind of a, I saw them, I was like, they look like cool fish, I'm gonna buy them, and now I'm stuck with that one because the only way to get it out of the tank is to pull the rock out and get it out, and it's just really not worth it, you know. So everything's on the up and up, hopefully anyway. I don't know, you know, obviously with the chaetomorphic growth, next level Aquarius, you know what? You never know. You never know. They're young, so they got a lot of time to decide. Thanks, Casey. But the only thing that I dislike at this moment is the fact that I got the PP15 pump in here, and it's so big. I mean, it's bigger than a softball, you know. It's meant for 120 plus gallons. And whenever I got on Amazon to buy it, I thought I clicked the PP8, and obviously I didn't. Whenever I got the box in, I looked and I was like, well, it is what it is. It's not worth going through the trouble of either sending it back or whatever to get the PP8 because there's a couple dollar difference. 40 gallon brute. Oh, I forgot about the ROC Murphy. I thought you dried it all out anyway. So I forgot about all that rock. I got to grow some of the few corals out first that I have to give them to you. So, but I feel like whatever I do going forward, again, if I keep this tank, if there's no interest in it for X amount of period, you know, then I'll just do away with this pedestal rock and build something over here. If I get a smaller tank than this whole structure, since it's all one piece anyway, I'll just pull it out and put it into the new tank, because the size of the tank that I'm looking at, it would probably be enough. So, but I am interested, and I don't have anybody, I don't think I have anybody locally, but I would be interested to put some SPS in this tank, just like a piece or two, just to see what it would do. But again, I'm not willing to pay for it right now. And what's up, David? I'm not willing to pay for the SPS and the shipping and all that. So for sure, the one coral that I would love to keep at some point is the green slimer. I don't know what it is about that coral. I've had it a couple times and I've failed miserably. But I feel like with the approach that I have now, the tables would turn and I could put corals in here and they would probably thrive. But not only that, if I put any corals SPS on this rock structure, they're now directly underneath the light instead of being in the middle here where, you know, the par was still good, but now that rock structure is completely under the light. So now that I thought about it, I think I do have a guy that has a tank with some SPS in it, and maybe I will message him because I thought he sent me a picture of a red planet not a while back. Yeah, maybe I'll see if I can trade him something, buy a piece or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I am interested to see. I mean, if you don't know who Jay's Reef is, he's got a tank, and that's kind of the approach that I've taken. He's got a 56-gallon rimless tank and no skimmer. He is running an Apex and some technology on the tank, but as far as the tank itself, it's based on a bare minimum approach. And he's got an awesome tank, and he's getting ready to build another one. So Murphy, if he's still here, he could probably correct me, but I think his channel is JS Reef or JS Reefs. I'm not sure there, but he's got a beautiful tank, and that's who I've mimicked here. Yep, there you go. Thank you, Murphy. But he's for sure got a beautiful tank, and as I started to transition to where I'm at now, that's what I wanted to mirror, just what he has going on. And I've talked to him a ton on Instagram, and I basically said, hey, the approach that you have is what I'm going after now, and he's helped me a lot. So, and that's the other thing about Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, my private messages there's a ton in there, and it's just communicating with people with the same interest, and that's kind of where I do the bulk of my communications. It's on Instagram. It's just easy. It's basically like a chat message. So we're about to go on 20 minutes, so I'm gonna hop off here. The wife and the baby are out hanging around. I appreciate that, Murphy. I think the oldest just woke up. Click that link that Murphy just put in the chat. Check out Jay's JS Reef. I don't want to butcher it because there's a couple different naming conventions like that, but yeah, I think the oldest one just woke up from her nap. Now I got to wait for the middle child to wake up, and my system is 1 year old, finally maturing. Just put in an acrofrag 6 weeks ago, and it's basing out nicely. Very nice, KC Nano. KC Nano, if you're on Instagram, let me know. What's up, Jay Carey? Oh, I saw you at the beginning. Sorry about that. So, hope you have a great Sunday. It's beautiful here. It's hot. I got another Florida trip coming up in 2 months. Very excited about that. So, hope you have a good one. Thanks for following along on my success and failures. There's going to be more success in the future. Just stay tuned. So, hey, if you're not following me, KC, either follow me or send me a message or something. Let me check out what you got going on. I'd love to see it. So, all right, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. Have a great week at work. I know Monday sucked for everybody, but guess what? If you don't start Monday, you'll never get to Friday. So there's the positivity note for the day. Super Yellow Tang. Just a little late. I do appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to cut it off here. Hang out for a little bit. Peace, everyone.